Oh, shit. Hey, boo. It is your favorite goddess, Fancy 734. And I'ma just get. Dang, you say 12 seconds already? Okay, well, hey, boo. It is your favorite goddess, also Fancy 734. And you see the title. It says SOS, spiritually gifted and struggling with managing addictions. So today I tried to go live on here last night. I was live on Instagram and it worked on there, but the video didn't translate over here. The audio wasn't working. So I just wanted to come back and do the video again. So basically, last night, well, if you've watched any of the videos from my process and trauma series or like the 7 day chakra alignment series, then, I had kind of just came out with how I became an alcoholic, and I just talked about some topics that majorly affected me and that caused me to develop addictions, sexual addictions, addictions to alcohol and substances. So, if you are interested in hearing my story on that or need journal prompts to help you address some blockages in your life, then I definitely highly recommend you check out my process and trauma series, particularly episode day 6 for the sacral plexus chakra. And I appreciate any and everyone who has tuned in so far and taken the time to hear and find out more about me. I really appreciate you all. So basically, last night I was having a moment. um, Number one, I wanted to say, like, this is my first time being intentionally sober in a long time. Like, I know last night I was mentioning, I was like, I think the last time I was intentionally sober was like in 2009 when I was pregnant with my daughter. But the other time was in 2020 when I was doing an alkaline fast, and that was kind of short lived. It was like 2 weeks, but so I became an alcoholic in 2016. But before then, I started drinking when I was 14. So like, alcohol is like was where I had the most addiction, and but I don't just have an addiction issue with that one particular thing. Like, I have, for personally, like, I have issues with obsession, and like, I don't just like things. I either love things or I hate them. So I have to be very careful with the things that I allow into my life, the people, all of that. And so I haven't drank in months. Like, thankfully, like, I've gone through a lot to where, like, number one, my body doesn't respond to alcohol the way that it used to. So like, it used to be a lot of fun for me, but it's like my body just doesn't handle it well anymore. And I have health issues that don't really allow me to drink and enjoy it. It takes a lot for me to even be able to partake. And it's kind of like, if I had to go through so much to prepare to drink and then so much afterwards to make sure my body is stabilized, is it even worth it? But um, anyway, last night I was struggling. I was having a moment because I wanted to smoke. And mind you, when I smoke, I do not smoke much. And I've always uh, enjoyed smoking because it's kind of like it removes a barrier, It kind of like, for me, it makes me not so self conscious. And I feel like I'm able to push my body to further limits when it comes to like stretching and yoga and working out. And like, I just like that, I'm not so self conscious and I feel free. And I was just really frustrated because I'm like, I want to smoke. Like, and the thing is, like, and I have some, I got smoke on deck. Like, so I'm very proud of myself. Like, I know that I don't struggle with addictions like as severely as I used to, but this is like a constant thing. Like, I can smoke intentionally, but it's very easy for me to cross that line from being okay and not being okay, or like, kind of falling into that cycle all over again. And I just, uh, I really wanted to talk about this because it's the end of the year, and this is the time of the year where people are celebrating more because of the holidays, which usually includes a lot of substances. And I think it's harder for people with addictions towards the end of the year. And this is the time of the year where death does is taxes. That's what I say, because you notice an increase in death and suicide around this time of year. So I wanted to put this out there as a reminder for myself, and I'm gonna come back to this video when I'm having a moment and I need it. And just to remind myself how far I've come, and what I've overcome, and the reminder that like I can do this. It's okay. I'm going to continue to do this. And I kind of lost my train of thought, so just stay with me. But I was telling myself like, so I was frustrated, crying, mad because uh I don't know about other people, but I notice every time I am like trying to break an addiction, like I have a increase in appetite because then if I can't have my, indulgement of choice, then I want some snacks. And then I was mad because I ain't had the snacks I like. I'm like, ain't no fucking snacks in the house. I don't got no ginger ale. I don't got none of the stuff I like. I was pissed. Like, and I'm like, I shouldn't need this. I shouldn't need to smoke to do anything. I just really, really wanted it. And I think a lot of times when you're going through this craving, you're so focused on the thing you want, but you're not thinking about the thing you may be avoiding or something that you needed to address. Because a lot of times we are leaning on drugs as a reason or a means to avoid something that we're hiding within ourselves. And for me, like with smoking, it just makes certain things easier, and including like when it comes to my spiritual gifts. And but that's the whole thing, like how I can get easily lost in it because I'm enjoying myself, and I don't know about anybody else, but like when I smoke, I channel so much more, and it's so much easier. But that's why it's so lost to get in, like it's so easy to get lost into that vortex and into that moment because you're just opened up to so much more. And I really like started being intentional about just being completely sober because I can't remember the last time in my life that I was. And that was like kind of that I was like purposely sober. And that was like a very shocking thought. Like, damn, like I don't even know how to be regular. Like, what? Not like that, but like, because there's nothing normal about me, but like for what I knew normal to be. And this year, I was really forced to just sit down and do healing that I had been avoiding for a long time. And I'm glad I had this time to be able to do that. Um, but it's not to say it's been easy because, like, this has been like the happiest time period in my life. But in the midst of it all, like, I'm going through a lot, like, financially and everything else. Um, but I'm still maintaining my sobriety. And that may not look the same for everybody. So, like, um, number one, I tried AA in the past and I didn't feel like it was for me. Literally, like, I just got to a point where my body was tired. And I was tired. Like I got sick of my own shit and sick of myself. And but it took me a lot of failure. It took me a lot of restarting because, like I said, I started drinking when I was 14. So for 21 years, like I was into alcohol, and it increasingly became a problem. Like, and even how, excuse me, truly became an alcoholic, like when it was like full blown, was because I was using it as a means to cope with something and to cope with pain that I had no other way of uh, um, I had no other way of getting any relief from this. So I wasn't trying to hide. I just didn't know what else to do. And then before I knew it, I had a crutch, and it just was what it was. And I think we live in a society where it's very easy to get caught up into drugs and alcohol. Like it just is what it is. It's everywhere. They even got liquor at Chuck E. Cheese and shit. They got beer and wine there. Like it's literally everywhere. And I, everybody has addictions. Just some people have addictions that are more acceptable than others. There are people who are addicted to caffeine. Wake up every day, they can't start their day, ain't got no energy, don't know how to act if they ain't got it. But that's just one form of it. So like even with me, like I'm very like particular about the things I put in my body. And like this journey is not easy. So number one, um, a sober life looks completely different than the life you lived prior. You may have to get rid of people, places, and things. Like you're gonna have to, um, friends, lovers, family members. You're gonna have to release people. Jobs. You may even have to leave certain jobs, but places that you used to enjoy, hobbies that you used to enjoy, you're probably gonna have to leave them alone, especially if they trigger you to into cravings. You know what I mean? Like, or if they cause you cravings, like you just gonna have to exit it until you get to a point where your cravings don't bother you. And that is not a simple task. I remember for a long time, I didn't know how to commit to this because I was so focused on what I thought I was gonna lose. Like these relationships, people get caught up in relationships and having blind faith and loyalty to things that actually cause them a lot of pain. And it's like you can't focus on what you're going to be losing or letting go. You ain't even got to say you're losing it. Excuse me, but letting go. And the reason I say that is because if these people aren't helping you let go of these things, like number one, nobody really is going to be able to, like, this fight with addiction is yours and yours alone. Nobody can do anything for you but you. But if people are allowing you, like, if they're basically encouraging you to die early by not saying anything or by just allowing you to fall into this cycle with these drugs or alcohol or whatever it is, whether it's sex or food, whatever. Like, even if, like, people have eating disorders, like, that's an addiction. And like people may want, you can call it whatever you want. Some people call it a disease, um, or making it seem like it's something that's irreversible, but it most definitely is. It's just all about your willpower and how long you're willing to continue to fight to maintain a better version of yourself or the version of yourself that you know you deserve to be. And so when you have your cravings, I think you should talk to yourself about what you don't like, um, about yourself when you indulge in these things. We focus so much on why. Like I used to smoke cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes on and off for 10 years. So I'm so thankful to still have beautiful teeth and skin and not have throat cancer or anything like that, you know? Like I went through a lot of shit and I'm lucky to still be a person that I can look at and be smile at and be proud of. And I've noted, but there are changes that I've had that, it just come with the territory. So number one, when you're having a craving, instead of focusing on why you want it so bad, like you can say, I think it's good to talk about why you may want to indulge because then you can find other ways to get to that. Like, okay, I feel free when I smoke. So what else makes me feel free? Or what else do I do that makes me feel free? And excuse me. And I like to smoke because I meditate in motion. I'm not a person that does well meditating being still. And it's just easier for me to get calm, like in my motion and like to continue my motion. So like even again, like that's a cycle, you know. Um, so I know that I like to feel free. I know that I like to not feel self conscious and or like embarrassment. So or like even with alcohol, it was fun, you know. That was the whole thing. It was fun, but really it was some broke ass shit because I was broke as hell, and that was the only fun I could find for free or like for the low, you know. That was what it was. But so then, what don't I like about myself when I smoke or when I drink? Um, I don't like that I don't have so much control. I don't like that I have to learn how to like monitor my mobility or like function. Because that's the thing, like even when you indulge in whatever your drug of choice is, you still have to learn how to be that version of yourself too. Like it ain't easy. You get too drunk or you get too fucked up, you can't even walk straight, you know, like but you learn how to manage. Like people are functional and they learn how to do it very well. Um So I think like even if you don't want to be honest, like out in the open, like it ain't for everybody to like broadcast these things. It's just very therapeutic for me to do this because for a long time I wasn't able to find therapy that worked for me. Like for years I tried therapy and all these other outside sources and it wasn't working for me, like for one reason or another. So if you don't want to broadcast things, you can make a video talking to yourself and just play it back to yourself. Delete it when you get done. You ain't got to share it with nobody or make it private. You know what I mean? Hide it, make it private. Like, it ain't for everybody. Um, but journal. So, like last night when I was having my moment, I had journaled and I was glad I got back into the practice of that because really I love writing. Writing is one of my first forms of love. Um, and like it was one of the first things I loved doing, and I was passed down from my mother. Like, and I have beautiful handwriting, so like I gotta keep up with writing to keep my handwriting pretty, you know. But it's like I think it's a good opportunity whenever you are facing a craving. It's a good opportunity for you to address an underlying issue because it's something you're trying to get away from. You know what I mean? Like in reality, it's really something you're trying to escape or you might just be bored. Like, and it's like, okay, so now it's time for you to get creative because now you get to discover all these different things that different parts of life that you weren't open to because now you got space and time and opportunity where you can actually focus your mind on something. And you might learn something new about yourself. Hell, you might find out you can paint. You might find out you can do a lot of stuff. And it's so funny because I smoked when I did this. I smoked when I did these paintings. But like get back into your creativity. And um but the other thing that I was saying about not focusing on what you have to lose, the people you have to lose, or like all the things you let go of. Forgive me, y'all, I break out in hives all the time. I don't got no allergy pills, so I'm itching. But the quicker you get these people and places and things out of your life that keep you caught in this cycle, the quicker you get to the people, places, and things that actually belong in your life that bring you more happiness, like more genuine happiness. Like, don't nobody care about your brother, sister, mama, cousin, them. Like, especially if they letting you be pissy drunk, or embarrassing yourself at functions or just wherever. If they not holding you accountable, if they not being honest with you about what they see that you're going through, because people will sit and watch you struggle and for like in the name of not wanting to offend someone, or in the name of you grown, you'll figure it out, or that's just you. And it's just like, that's not them, not the type of people you need around. You need people around who love you enough to tell you about your motherfucking self, whether you want to hear it or not. You need people around that's not gonna throw your habits in your face as a means to put you down. You know what I mean? Like, because you're probably gonna fuck up a lot. And that's okay. That's part of it. Like, every mistake is an opportunity for you to learn something. Every mistake is a lesson waiting on you to pay attention to it. Like, for real. Like, but think about how many times you failed when you were learning how to walk as a baby. Like, it took a lot of trial and error. Or even when it comes to like weight loss, it takes a lot of trial and error, and like you got to keep restarting, restarting, restarting. um One thing I want to say is like, and the whole reason why more recently, like, I've been trying to maintain my sobriety, like, because I don't really personally like, I know I have a problem, but I don't have a problem as nearly severe as how I used to. It's just like a part of my life, like me monitoring myself and checking myself when I get to certain moments. Like, that's just a new part of my lifestyle. Like, that's something that I have to accept is gonna be a part of my life until I no longer have cravings. And to be straight up with you, like, I haven't smoked since when 2017 is when I quit smoking cigarettes, I think. Yeah. And like, you are going to have cravings. I've tried to smoke cigarettes when I have cravings. They taste like shit now. I'm so mad. Like, it's not even the same. It's not the same. So like, once you get over it, you're gonna be happy, but it's always gonna be a lingering thing because it's something that your body remembers. And like, drinking a lot of water is very important because you need to continue to flush your system. And if you've had a problem for years, it's going to take you years of consistently flushing your system. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to take you a long time to get to a new normal, or a normal that you're okay with. And the other thing I wanted to discuss is like, so for me, like, I am psychic. I haven't really talked about that a lot, but I did start putting my dreams out because they, a lot of times, they're premonitions, like, they haven't happened yet. And so with me having all these new spiritual gifts, it's very important that I establish a relationship and understanding for my gifts and how to manage my gifts while I'm sober, because you do open yourself up to a lot more. Like, just like I said, like, smoking kind of breaks down the barrier. Like, you need to be able to learn how to interpret and acknowledge and see what energy is being amplified and trying to talk to and through you when you're sober, because when you're under the influence, you're being bombarded with entities that's like, oh my gosh, she could see us, she could feel us, like, I need to, this about to be my puppet, like, nah. Like, and that's the whole thing about having addictions, like, in um recovering from having addictions and breaking these cycles. When it comes to addiction, like, you have to teach yourself boundaries for yourself. Like, it's time for you to learn boundaries for what you can and cannot do. Like, and realistically, you know when is enough for you. You know when your stopping point should be. But A lot of times it's like you don't want the feeling to end. You chasing the feeling that like you chasing that high, like you feel so good, you don't want it to go away or whatever it may be. But it's really time for you to learn when enough is enough because you don't want to be taught that by something detrimental happening because you couldn't say enough was enough. And I think another hard part about dealing with, don't mind me, y'all, I do this often, but I think another hard part of like dealing with and managing your sobriety is the guilt and shame that comes with when you fuck up. Because sometimes when you relapse, you fuck up majorly and it may hurt other people. But I think the biggest thing to note is, are you trying? Are you continuously trying? Because you know that when you indulge, you know when you relapse, that it's easy to fall into that downward spiral. Point blank, period. You know it ain't good for you. You know when you should stop. You know when enough should be enough. But you also know that some part of you either can't control it or won't. And it's easy to get caught up in all that guilt and shame because you like, woe is me. You crying, you feel bad. And it's okay to have those emotions, but it's like you need to find something to come out of that because the longer you stay sad, the more likely you are to keep drinking or smoking or whatever. And then look at this, peep game. Alcohol is a downer. So you literally causing yourself depression. Like, and I used to be a heavy drinker. Like, I'm talking about like it take a pint to start my night. And that's just pre gaming. You know what I mean? Like, and that might be in the first hour, 30 minutes, whatever. So like you drinking fifths and not even realizing it, you know, like, or you up to drinking so much. And it's like, now you causing yourself later problems because you're going to be depressed. Like, and that's just the truth of the matter. But I think your focal point should be, okay, I fucked up, but am I willing to try again? How did you feel? Like, because really, it's like once you get past day three, you be all right. That's always been my experience. Like when it came to cigarettes, alcohol, anything. Once you get past day three of not having it in your system, you be like, you know, this ain't so bad. Like, this ain't so bad. Um, so definitely continue to focus on the fact that if you fuck up, you still can get it right. You know, don't nobody talk about how when you get things right every day, you don't think about it. It's nothing. You only think about when you fuck up. Like, just try again. It's okay. Every day is a fresh start to try to get it right or whatever right is to you. You know what I mean? Like, so I definitely want to say I am proud of you. For those of you who are working towards maintaining your sobriety, keeping it, holding on to it, I am so proud of you. To those of you that are spiritually gifted and trying to deal with this, I'm so proud of you because you're going through like you going through some shit that got you thinking you crazy as hell and you probably was indulgent to try to make yourself like feel some semblance of normal. Like I'm very proud of you. Like, you're not crazy. This is shit just different. It's just wild over here. And honestly, like you really don't need the drugs when you spiritually gifted because shit is wild anyway. You gonna be feeling like you gonna be wondering if you high or drunk or whatever, some of the shit you encounter anyway. But I'm very proud of you. You should be very proud of yourself. I hope you take a moment to tell yourself, I'm proud of me. Because looking back, like I've come a long way. I'm very blessed, like to not have died in an accident that Like I could have caused from driving drunk. And oh, the irony of that, because I remember, I mean, I got into a car accident where my whole face had to be put back together because we were hit by a drunk driver. And, but that's what I'm saying, like the irony that I would be putting myself, voluntarily putting myself back in those situations by driving drunk. And I'm not somebody, I'm blessed that I never got any DUIs. I didn't cause any accidents, but it was plenty of times where I was very close to not making it to my destination. So I'm very blessed and grateful that I still have my life. Because I know that when you have addictions, look, you shit get wild. Shit get real fast and furious real quick. Like, so um, take a moment to give gratitude for still being here, even if you're not in a place that you want to be. And I'm gonna be real transparent. Like, I have been going through a lot. Like, I have lost so much. I'm very grateful to have my home. Like, as much as I hate it, I'm grateful that I have a place that I can hand wash my clothes every day because we don't have no washer or dryer. We don't have money to go to the laundromat. So, like, no, shit is not easy. Like, this shit is not cute or funny. I just happen to look good and make shit look good. Like, it is what it is. But I don't want to be like one of the first of the people to tell you, like, I'm not here just pump faking and trying to hold up, like some image that I'm not maintaining, like, or that I can't maintain. Like, that's not me at all. Like, I'm very raw and honest, and I'd be the first person to tell somebody about my flaws because, like, I'm not embarrassed by that shit. Like, it just is what it is. Um, so I'm very proud of you. Excuse me, I gotta take a sip of my water because I love drinking hot water. So, tip for if you are struggling with caffeine. Caffeine used to be so hard for me. I used to get headaches like crazy. But I used to drink coffee and tea every morning, either vanilla chai, like, or yeah, I used to like vanilla chai, the black vanilla chai. It's so good. um, or vanilla coffee every day. But but the thing about getting dependent on caffeine is kind of like it fluctuates your energy. Like, so the one thing I would recommend is drinking hot water. Don't get ground coffee. Get you some coffee beans and sit them out and sit it nearby wherever you're going to be, like if it's your workstation or whatever, so you can still have that smell. But drink hot water. You got to trick your brain. Like, I remember when I was younger and I was trying to quit smoking cigarettes the first time, this girl recommended me to cut up straws the same size of the cigarettes and put it in a box, and you will literally like see yourself. You would have a straw, hang a little straw, feeling dumb. Like you feel dumb for a minute, but like some of it is really just like a physical habit of you doing this. Like, so for smoking, it's you doing like this all the time. For drinking, it's you tilting the cup back. With coffee, it's you, which you know what I mean, like you and your cup. So like you can replace something. I don't recommend replacing things, like replacing an addiction with another addiction. However, you can do things to trick your mind into thinking you are having the same act, but it's like your body is trying to tell you that something is missing. It's not. But a lot of times, if you have addictions, you are lacking water very much. Like, so hot water to replace coffee or tea. For me, it kind of did the trick. It was like the same because for me, I didn't really pay attention to the taste. Like, especially like if you drink black coffee, like it should be easy for you to transition to water. Um, what else did I want to say? My baby is going to be getting home from school soon, so I do want to take a moment to just do some affirmations. But um, if you are struggling, reach out to me. If you feel comfortable, like I'm always here to be an ear. And But definitely keep up with your water, cleansing your system because it's going to be a lot of things. What I notice is like things try to attach you a lot, and you probably have a lot of things attached to you, including entities. If you have addictions, a lot of times it's not even you. You feeding something you don't even understand what you feeding because if it's not some trauma or like some underlying issue, then it's probably just an entity. Um, excuse me. So let's go through these affirmations and then I'm gonna sign off. So number one, I congratulate myself for not giving up on myself. Woo! I'm so proud of you. You doing it, boo. Keep going. I congratulate myself for not giving up on myself. I know my mistakes are lessons waiting for me to pay attention. I am proud of myself for breaking this cycle. I feel better when I am intentional about getting healthier. I am thankful I have taken the first step at this newer, renewed version of myself. Every day, I'm grateful I have a new chance to get it right. I am blessed every day that I have to fight to become stronger. Because don't get it twisted, this is a battle. This battle is not yours. It's the Lord. Look, don't judge my singing, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But you know, it's a battle. But every day I am blessed every day that I have to fight to become stronger. And you can and you will. I am grateful to work at becoming better. I am proud of myself for recognizing I need to make a change and actively making those changes. My past only follows me if I keep carrying it. Put them bags down, bag lady. Don't nobody need that shit, not even you. I am worthy of the life on the other side of my problems. I am worthy. Say it. I am worthy. You are. When I have cravings, it's an opportunity to heal from something I've been hiding from. Breaking this cycle of addiction will heal generational curses in my family. It really will. Maintaining my sobriety honors and strengthens my spiritual connection. It doesn't matter how many times I start over as long as I keep trying. The only way I let myself and others down is if I give up. I empower myself by reaching out for help when I need it. So I'm going to just go through these again. I congratulate myself for not giving up on myself. I know mistakes are lessons waiting for me to pay attention. I am proud of myself for breaking this cycle. I feel better when I'm intentional about getting healthier. I am thankful I have taken the first step at a newer, renewed version of myself. Every day, I'm grateful I have a new chance to get it right. I am blessed every day that I have to fight to become stronger. I am grateful to work at becoming better. I am proud of myself for recognizing I need to make a change and for actively making those changes. My past only follows me if I keep carrying it. I am worthy of the life on the other side of my problems. When I have cravings, it's an opportunity to heal from something I've been hiding from. Breaking this cycle of addiction will heal generational curses in my family. Maintaining my sobriety honors and strengthens my spiritual connection. It doesn't matter how many times I start over, as long as I keep trying. The only way I let myself and others down is if I give up. I empower myself by reaching out for help when I need it. All right, y'all. So that's all I got for you today. I'm very proud of all of you all for managing your addictions and for keep trying and for continuously and relentlessly, you know, pursuing your sobriety. I want to thank you all for tuning in today and taking a moment of your time to understand the space of mind. And I hope you all have a powerful day.